So today I am going to be sharing with you my top tips for visiting Walt Disney World with your children. And we are massive Disney fans here. I have 3 children ranging from just turned 6 down to only 8 months old. And we love Walt Disney World as a family and have been a couple of times. And it's one of those places that you can go and you will have an amazing time if you just turn up. But if you do a little bit of planning and a little bit of organising, you will have an even more amazing time. So my number 1 top tip, now you've decided that you want to visit Walt Disney World as a family, would be to pre-book your tickets in advance. And you can just turn up and get them on the gate, but you will end up paying so much more money if you do it that way. Attraction Tickets Direct have an amazing offer where you can save up to £100 per person, and you also get 14 days worth of park tickets for the price of 7. So it is definitely worth pre-booking your tickets in advance. So my second tip would be, you've decided to pre-book your tickets in advance, but actually you need to make sure you pre-book them as far in advance as possible. The reason for this is, firstly, it will take the stress out of your holiday and it's one big thing to tick off the list. And secondly, the sooner you book in advance, the sooner you will be able to take advantage of Disney's 30-day Fast Pass window. And I will talk a little bit more about this in a minute, but it is definitely worth trying to pre-book your tickets as far in advance as possible. So my next tip would be to take advantage of the amazing Fast Pass service that Disney offers. And basically, I did touch upon Fast Pass earlier on, but you get 3 Fast Pass reservations that you can book before you travel. And if you are staying at a non-Disney resort, you can book these up to 30 days before you travel, and it is 100% definitely worth doing this before you travel. And all a Fast Pass means is that you turn up within a allotted time frame to some of the major rides and attractions, and you will get to join the Fast Pass queue instead of the normal queue. The Fast Pass queue will go a lot quicker, and it just means that you'll be able to maximise the fun and the time that you are having in Disney. And it's definitely worth doing it in advance and having a little bit of a research before you book them as to which ones you think might be suitable for you and your children, because some of the major rides and attractions and new rides and attractions will book up quite far in advance. So it's definitely worth doing. Our favourites, for example, are Toy Story Midway Mania ride in Hollywood Studios. That always books up really quickly, and the standby queue is always quite long for that one, so it's definitely worth using a Fast Pass on that one. And in Magic Kingdom, for example, some of the attractions that we like to use them on are Splash Mountain, Peter Pan's Flight, Ariel's Grotto, and Enchanted Tales with Belle. So my next tip, similarly to Fast Pass, is to book Disney restaurants as far in advance as possible, because some of the most popular restaurants do book out really far in advance, and the Disney app is really good for this. If you download the Disney app, you're able to cancel and modify your reservations, and you're also really easily able to see which restaurants have availability on what days and in what resorts. So it's definitely worth doing, because cancellations and modifications happen at all times. So for example, you might not be able to get in to your favourite restaurant one day, but then you'll be able to get in a little bit nearer the time. So a top tip firstly is definitely download the Disney app so you can do this, and secondly, book your restaurants as far in advance as you can. Some of our favourite Disney restaurants are the Sci-Fi Dine-In movie theatre in Hollywood Studios, where you sit in a car and watch old movies. We love that one. We also love Beaches and Cream in Disney's Beach Club Resort, which is kind of an old-fashioned retro diner. We love Chef Mickey's in Disney's Contemporary Resort, which is a character restaurant and where you can meet some of the main characters, and we love breakfast there. And there's all manner of different restaurants, and it's definitely worth having a look to see which ones take your fancy. Again, leading on from dining reservations, another top tip of mine is definitely to make sure you book at least one character dining reservation while you are there. And basically what character dining is that it is just where the characters will come round to your table and meet and greet with you. They will sign autographs and have pictures, and it's just a really nice way of getting some personal time with the characters. And not every restaurant does character dining, so it is worth looking up beforehand which restaurants do, and also booking really far in advance, because again, these character dining experiences do book up far in advance. Our absolute favourites for character dining are the Crystal Palace in Magic Kingdom, which is a buffet style restaurant where Winnie the Pooh and all the characters from Winnie the Pooh will come round to your table. And secondly, our next favourite character dining experience is Chef Mickey's in the Contemporary Resort. It's really hard to get a reservation here, so you do need to book in advance, but you will be able to meet Mickey, Goofy, Minnie, Pluto and Donald, and they will come around to your table while you have a really yummy breakfast buffet. So I definitely recommend the character dining experiences if you do have young children, because they are so much fun. So my next tip is a slightly strange one, but it would be to hire a stroller if you've got young children, even if they don't use a stroller or buggy at home. So when we went, our children were nearly 6 and 3, and they haven't used a buggy at home for a long time, but we hired them a double stroller and they used it a lot. The reason being is that the parks are quite big, there's lots of walking involved, and young children do get really tired. There's also really long days, especially if you end up staying for the fireworks, and so it's definitely worth hiring a stroller. My next tip would be to try and take a break and have a relaxing day in between the full-on Disney days if you can. And obviously this is a little bit harder if you're staying for just a week, but Disney can be really full-on. There's so much to do and the days are long. So if you can try and plan your days where you have a little bit of relaxation and recharging of your batteries in between, then that is really good. So for example, you could do Magic Kingdom one day, which is obviously a really full-on day, especially if you stay for the fireworks. Then you could have a day chilling out at one of the Disney water parks or by your hotel pool, and then do another Disney day. And if you can, it just means that it will help you recharge your batteries and not let your children get too tired. My next tip is just a fun one really, and that is to make sure that you buy or bring with you an autograph book. And the reason being is that nearly 99% of the characters will sign autographs when you wait in line for them, and my girls especially really loved this. They loved having an autograph book full of memories at the end of their trip. And finally, my last tip is not just to stick to the 4 main Disney parks. So the 4 main parks are Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, Epcot and Animal Kingdom, but there are also other amazing Disney things to do as well. So for example, there are the 2 Disney water parks. There's Disney Springs, which is free to get into and is a big shopping complex and entertainment and lots of restaurants. And there's also Disney Boardwalk, which is made up of 2 of the main Disney hotels, but there's also some really nice places to eat, and it's really picturesque and beautiful as well. So I definitely recommend exploring away from some of the main Disney things and seeing what else they have to offer. So I hope that my top tips on visiting Disney with your children were helpful. It's one of those places that if you just do a little bit of planning and organising before you go, it will maximise the fun that you will have once you are there, and you will have an amazing time. Disney literally is the most magical place on earth and just so much fun. But thank you for watching this video, and do subscribe to Attraction Tickets Direct YouTube channel because they will have lots more hints and tips on there. And above all, just have the most amazing holiday, and I know that you will because it is just so much fun. Thank you for watching. Bye!